The journey 2010, where we united Raila Odinga and His Excellency Mwai Kibaki, turning Kenya back on road of peace. Of course, everyone knows by that time, Kenya was on the verge to collapse. But bringing them through our service projects like Cleaning River Nairobi, bringing all the young people in the Great Rift Valley to preach peace on every door, the religious leaders united, the education, the business people like Manu Chandaria, we covered peace on the map of Kenya. Uniting that country back on the roadmap, you see, today inspired me with the team to come to Uganda and plant the same seed of peace. Of course, everyone knows that Uganda, Kenya, just like other African countries, we face the same challenge of tribalism, political intolerance, and others. The collapse of our family institutions and the damage you have made on the environment. It begins right there, my friend, my brothers and sisters. Our mission has been to unite all Ugandans in Uganda to build a movement of peace. Builders in every village, in schools, in communities, in ministries, and we have signed a number of MOUs with partners to work around peace and make it institutionalized and a new ideology. Our vision, of course, is one family under God, which translates, of course, into that regardless of our differences in terms of our tribes, you know, the skin, the color of our skin, our gender, we are truly one family under God. Indeed, it is a long tradition that has been accepted by world religions, by all kingdoms, that yes, we share one creator who is God. He didn't create the things we have today, but because of our wisdom, some of these things have divided us apart. Then we said it is the time for us to unite the human family so that God can bless us and give us His favor to really prosper. Our aim is actually to unite the whole world, beyond North Korea and South Korea, beyond these small territories of Africa. Then that is where it begins, to unite the human family so that we have shared values for peace, so that we have shared principles for peace, so that we have shared aspirations for peace. That is what inspired us to come right in the part of Africa and be able to germinate this seed so that Uganda can show the rest of the world that indeed we are the pearl. Our activities actually have been so many, but I'll mention a few of them. A few of them because of time. One, since 2010, we have been busy all through opening peace clubs, establishing them in schools. And so far, we have over 50,000 young people promoting peace in every classroom, so that our children, the new generation, are able to live in the power of unity in diversity, so that they can build a nation that can embrace that unity in the laws, in the business, in the structures, in the government infrastructure and the programs. Yes, we have the inspiration to see that new nation burst with the graduations in Makerere and all universities, where children don't graduate to go and prosper their own families, but a shared nation and Africa. Young people who can go and unite Africa as one nation. Ladies and gentlemen, it is at this particular time that then we went and started regional programs, starting with Rwenzori. We organized the One Family Under God Peace Campaign, which brought together the top religious leaders, the Muslims and the Christians. I remember Bishop Nzerevendi, Sheikh Nasib, Reverend Mukonzo, Reverend Father Expedito, the king himself and the queen of Toro, You can imagine, the business people, Hima Cement, Shomo group of companies, all these companies and hotel, the young people, the business giants, all united, including ISO. I remember it's called the Kaka. By that time, he was the leader of ISO. And his infrastructure of ISO and the RDCs, we were able to actually reduce the tension that were happening in the Rwenzori region. The Wamba Kingdom, I thank you. The OBR of Kasese, I thank you. The Toro Kingdom, I thank all of you. The Interreligious Council of Uganda, with whom we have been working with their structures in Rwenzori, we were able to reduce the tribalism, the ethnicity, the political intolerance in Rwenzori. Indeed, we were able to launch the Rwenzori Peace Campaign by bringing the 500 top cross-sector leaders in Kampala to have a neutral ground. And we organized the Rwenzori Peace Campaign launch at Hotel Africana, where we signed the Rwenzori Peace Declaration. The peace we see in Rwenzori today is as a result of our interventions, and now we're accelerating that outcome and work by bringing clan leaders together with religious leaders, together with families, together with the youth. Right now, we have a neutral structure that is deepening the vision of one family under God in Rwenzori. The second activity was to do with the education. The viewers, we understand that peace building should be anatomized, because it is a cell achieved after certain activities. We understand, based on the report that we have today, that our young people, 63% of them, are not fit for the job market. That report by the Inter-University Council of East Africa inspired us to say, oh, how will Uganda achieve peace when its young people, which is around 81% of the Uganda's population, how will Uganda achieve peace when these young people have no jobs? What is the root cause? Oh, we understood that the 21st century employer is not just interested in a certificate of a school. He or she is interested in the 21st century competencies. Then we worked with the Ministry of Education and Sports. With the approval of our toolkit by National Curriculum Development Center, we were allowed to go to schools officially with the certificate. We started with 100 schools. I can remember we had Chebambe Girls School, Old Kampala Secondary School, Kasese Secondary School, Mbarara High School. We had St. Mary. There are quite many schools around the country, including Chambogo College School. Up to today, it's still actually one of the pioneering sustaining schools. We started now having what we call teacher capacity building, even before the curriculum. I am happy this content was captured by NCDC to make sure our children are able to walk in their dreams, to develop their own content, to actually make research, and be able to develop competencies the 21st century employer want. So after training the teachers, more than 500 teachers have been trained across the country. And these 500 teachers are deepening character education, the entrepreneurship, creativity, development of learners. We are incubating innovations so that young people, from the content they are learning, they are able to make products for the market. And I pray government of Uganda, that's where they are supposed to now put the next budget of this year, making sure learners are able to graduate with jobs, with innovations. Then that becomes the basis of students to graduate, if it is possible. And so we have been able to benchmark the education sector so that somehow these young people are able to graduate with what the current market demands and the global systems. After that, we went to the next activity, which are actually going on up to today, the Cook Stove Project. The Cook Stove Project has been going on for the last 11 years in the district of Mukono, Nakasongola, the central region, Kasese, northern Uganda, and we have been able to support families with more than 35,000 cook stoves, to be able to reduce on the cost, on the pneumonia, on the cutting down of trees, so that even food can be cooked much quicker using less firewood. Now, what have been our achievements? Our achievements have been to unite Ugandans towards the vision of one family under God. And indeed, we have been able to attract all religions in the country towards peace. Now we see Muslims going to the mosque, Muslims going to the church to preach, which has never been before. We see Bishop Nzereven with Reverend Father Mukozo and Expedito going to the mosque to preach, going to the radios. This has never been before. One of the other things was to see how communities that have never been friendly to each other, now there is integrated family meetings going on in Nyabuyusumbu, in the mountains in Rwenzori. So we see a lot of cross-community, cross-cultural, cross-religious interfaith engagement happening in the country. One of the other achievements was to bring the whole region at the Global Peace Leadership Conference, which His Excellency the President of this country hosted. We brought 55 nations around the globe to come to Uganda in 2018 to sign the Kampala Peace Declaration. After benchmarking Uganda as a model for the world, remember, it is not just by a miracle. His Excellency the President had actually spoken at the United Nations headquarters, asking all heads of state, who loses if North and South Korea unite? Basing on that inspiration, we felt it is the time Uganda becomes the benchmark for the whole world. And indeed, we saw North Korea coming and attend. We saw South Korea coming with their parliamentarians and leaders. We saw the whole of African countries coming. We saw United States sending leaders. We saw Europe bringing leaders. We saw Asia, Middle East, and Uganda in 2010 hosted all world leaders. And the Kampala Peace Declaration enabled us now to make commitment, to make sure that the bishops, the religious leaders, the business people, the youth, the business giants, the researchers, the academicians, all the diplomats, the development funders, all of them, to integrate the component of peace and to make sure they facilitate the process of institutionalizing peace. Now, in education, it has been achieved. In governance, it has been achieved. In intercultural, interreligious, now it is possible a king to talk with a fellow king, a king to talk to a religious leader. All are in the community planting trees and inspiring young people and the women to be able to work to defend their dreams. Now, of course, challenges are always there, viewers. Of course, I must say on this television that the first challenge is that people think peace must be achieved through the gun. That was a long story. Tell me which country has achieved peace, sustainable peace, through the barrel of the gun. Of course, I must say, I was there. I was a commander in the Middle East, fighting Saddam Hussein. I was there using M4 rifle, using all these weapons the Americans have. This is an American award as one of the greatest military leaders at my age that have ever existed. The Recon Award was given to me. But this is now useless because peace has never arrived in Iraq. Peace has never arrived in Afghanistan. Now, what I am saying here is we have understood that the challenge now is to somehow divert, change the mindsets of those who believe that peace must be achieved through the gun. It is now the time to now tell you that that challenge must be fought by me and you through dialogue, through the culture of reconciliation, through the culture of win-win, understanding that whereas you want something, What about the other colleague? What about the nation? What is the interest of the whole world? The interest of the whole world is that all of us to prosper. But for you to prosper, you must work with others. You must lift others for you to prosper. So that is the first challenge. The second challenge is financing peace. Everyone can finance sports. Others can finance corruption. People are financing road construction, infrastructure development, funding health sector. But no one comes out to say on the national budget or in an energy or a company, they call it corporate social responsibility. Let us put maybe 10% towards efforts of Global Peace Foundation and other organizations that are promoting peace. Because peace is the foundation for business, for economic prosperity, for all these other things we are looking at. So that is the second challenge. The third challenge is that we have conflict entrepreneurs. It seems Africa right now is seated on a time bomb whereby 80% of the people work towards pulling each other down in terms of sectarian politics, sectarian business, sectarian education. Can you imagine? Sectarian technology, where technology is now escalating identity-based conflict. So the issue now that we have is now to sit on a round table and build consensus towards response on ending the scourge of tribalism, religious and political intolerance. All these things must be worked on, but we must be able to respect one another's interest. Now, the other thing possibly is our future plans. Our future plans, of course, are very clear. Ladies and gentlemen, I must remind you that our mission is to build a movement of peace builders around the world, so that we can be able to sit on a round table and talk as brothers and sisters, children of Adam and Eve, created by one God, to be able to now lift each other down. So I must tell you that our plan is to now invest more billions of money into uniting people, making sure political parties understand the power in dialogue, reconstruction and reconciliation. Religious leaders must work together. Right now they abuse each other as if these religions belong to them. So these religions, political parties, businesses must work together towards uniting and transforming people, not competition. How can a religion be in competition? That I'm the first, I'm the giant, I'm the one who controls the world. No, all religions must unite to take people to heaven, not to steal them. And so I'm very happy that Interreligious Council is doing amazing work with us. Now, our next future plan is to end the violence that is going on, the radicalization, the extremism, and that requires resources. The last one, our next plan, is to make sure that at least the 80% of the young people understand the concept of peace culture as a new ideology that must guide all their dreams and businesses, education, leadership, and so through culture of service and all. So it must be a new culture. Of course, achieving that, there was a role of women, viewers. The power of a woman, of the mother. I am very happy. I thank Honorable Lois Mwambale, Mama Nyabaole, the Queen of Uganda, all these leaders, Matembe, Honorable Matembe, the First Lady. Oh my God, we had an amazing meeting in New York with her. And we are discussing the future of education in Uganda. I'm happy that some of the things we discussed, it's what she actually captured, started investing in memos, producing memos into schools. And I'm happy even now, the memo on immorality is on. Thank you, Mama. The role of women's leadership culture. Professor Maggie Chigozi, I cannot forget you. I cannot forget you. Rebecca Kadaga, oh my God. But the most amazing thing is that men caused World War I. Men caused World War II. Men have caused the current war going on in Europe. Now, women must be brought at the center now, because we seem to have left them aside. You find companies have boards, but there are no women. This is the time. From what we have seen, and impacted from women, it is the time we must allow women in families to be able to chair meetings on peace in villages, because they usually feel, oh, I rather lose business and that money for the sake of peace. That is the woman. So we have seen women, they must be on boards of directors. Women must be in government. Women must be in a corporate company. Women in religions, women in cultural systems. We must trust them because they are our mothers. Of course, lastly are the young people. The young people, the future is in the young people. And so we are talking this because it's for the young people, because they define, they influence the future. What type of Uganda we are going to have. So if you're a parent, now we have realized peace begins at home, by parents sitting down with their children to nurture peace values in their children, so that we end corruption, we end identity-based conflicts, we end all these scourges. So the future of youth, beyond all these things we have seen, yes, we can give them technology, but are they guided by values and the peace culture, so that they are able to use the opportunities Africa has to strengthen peace and the independence of Africa? So, of course, I appeal to all Ugandans that time has reached for us to unite. It has reached for us to actually love our cultures and tribes, but most importantly, to unite as one family under God. You are in a circle. Is it a circle for tribes? Bachiga circle, Bakonjo circle, women is a circle. Because we have different gifts. So if we are united, unity, diversity is power. Time has reached. Don't just shun away those political parties that are based on tribes. It is this ideology that will enable us protect the environment, because environment benefits all Ugandans. Why are you taking it as a tribal issue? When businesses are established, make sure that they are established on the basis to serve all Ugandans. Political parties, religions, now we have religions in this country that serve a certain clan. Can you imagine? A certain tribe. Don't go to those things. Chibwetere killed many people, you remember? And I cannot end without saying this. It is time that families realize they are all. Peace of Uganda cannot be realized without putting the family at the center. Are you type of parents who lie while children are hearing? You are planting a bad seed of children in the country, those that will steal public resources. Then we have increased deaths in hospitals. Are you the parent who cuts down trees, or you are the parent who teach children how to love neighbors, even if you are Muslims? Start teaching your children to go and donate in the church, even if they are Christians. That is when we will see a new generation of young people who are able to traverse and unite Africa. We cannot transform and unite Africa if the young people, the youth, the parents, the systems are not integrated. So, of course, I thank the partners, UBC, Uganda Broadcasting Corporation, a 12-year journey. Since 2010, you are the first television that gave us an open space to come and have our weekly talk shows on peace, on education, on cleaning these slums, on planting trees. Well, you remember we had what we call the interpolitical parties soccer for peace tournament. 3,000 people came in Nachivubo. You were there. We had the interpolitical parties dialogue conference at Imperial Real. All political party leaders came. You came and it was live on air. UBC Television. Indeed, you are a national broadcaster. I thank Star TV, Star Radio. And most importantly, we thank the government of the Republic of Uganda. His Excellency, the president, with many people thought he will not welcome this concept. Some people said we should go to South Africa, where the concept of peace may be Nigeria. But he said, no, allow them to register and have an officer kept in Uganda. He invested a lot of resources in hosting that Munyonyo conference. The late Jacob Olanya, I thank you. We thank you. We thank Honorable Muhuli Mukasa. We thank Right Honorable Rebecca Kadaga. We thank, late General Eli Tumwine. You are at the center of this. Of course, I thank also Kano Besigye. I thank, because he has been part of the peace negotiations and the culture. I thank even Chagulanyi, Honorable Chagulanyi. I met him and we discussed peace negotiations. But then he actually said, this is the right momentum, but will they accept it? Will they accept peace for everybody, or for them they are for conflict? But indeed, he gave us space to discuss peace building, to be part of it. And that's why he didn't go to the bush to fight Uganda government. I thank you, Robert Chagulanyi. Of course, I can't end without thanking our corporate partners. Interreligious Council of Uganda will have a standing MOU with you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I thank the IGAD, Intergovernmental Organization for Development. We thank the East African Community, the East Africa Business Council, the United Nations Development Program, UNDP. Thank you so much. Lastly, I thank the people I have worked with. My brother Hector of UBC. It has been a generation of more than 600 young people. We are talking about today 800 young people have been promoting this. So it's not just me, 500 teachers. We are talking about women, 1,200 women. We are talking about 5 corporate companies, private sector foundation, or the late Badagawa, who was part of this. I thank you, and may God bless you wherever you are in heaven. Of course, let me share my contact, because it is a long story. My telephone number is 078 5584 971. Our office is on Champ Towers, ground floor. You just reach there, you just say the Office of Peace. They will direct you, and we are amazingly loving all Ugandans. Let us love each other. Let us reconcile with each other. After all, we have few years on the world. Why do you accept to go to heaven when you have penalties? You have penalties. So it is time to reconcile with your families, with your neighbors, with your friends, business partners. Reconcile, preach peace, preach peace, preach peace, because the peace is the only way for God and my country, Uganda.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
This isn't just a girl. She is the future. This is a teacher, a doctor, a community leader, our future president. She is the hope of our community. And as a community leader, I will talk to others about how we must protect her against child marriage and teenage pregnancy, because it affects us all. We each have a role to play in empowering our teenage girls to protect them from pregnancy. Because when we empower them, we empower our nation. Protect the girl, save the nation.
Take action. Report any case of defilement or child marriage to the police or call Sauti 116.
The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Hello?
Hello?
This is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Hey, Kasozi, my brother. Long time. We last met when we were at campus. It's been a while, but you are the person I'm looking for.
Campus? Really?
Hey, you don't remember me?
Okay, so how can I help you?
I'm stuck in Gulu making millions, and I need to urgently send money to my sick mother. But I can't find any mobile money agent near me. I've sent the money to your phone, as you can see the message. It might take a few minutes to come through, but I urgently need you to send the money to my mother. Let me send you her number, and you send it to her chap.
My friend, I'm afraid your mom is going to die.
What?
Because I don't know you, I never went to campus, and I'm also in Gulu. So can we meet at CPS, we talk about it?
Oli Musiru.
Stay tuned for what Kasozi does next.
Tofera, refrain from unnecessary engagements with strangers over the phone. This message is powered by the Uganda Communications Commission.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Movement, oh yeah.